Hello there. Welcome to our webinar series, Just for the Health of It. And I'm Dr. Angrist. I'm a wellness chiropractor. Been in practice in New York and New Jersey for 39 years. And I'm here to share with you information on a regular basis in my webinar series, live webinar series. And brain health is the topic we're going to be talking about today. The previous two episodes were Finding Your Calm, and the last one was Pain Management 101. So certainly if you have any questions about this one, previous ones, any information you'd like to gather, you can always contact us. So brain health, start with what is the brain? And the brain is an organ. It's the master system of the body. It controls everything. It only weighs about 2 pounds, and it basically does everything in our body with regard to function. So the brain functions are your digestive system. What does your digestive system do? It produces enzymes. It breaks down our food. Well, the nervous system controls that. Your heart beats. What's controlling the heart? Our brain, our nervous system. Many people think the heart's the most important part of the body, but your brain and your nervous system are the most important parts of your body. Your sensory system, feeling everything. Emotionally, how we deal with things. Physically, what you feel on your fingertips. Every single function of your body is controlled by your brain and your nervous system. We've all heard about the left brain versus the right brain. Well, the left brain is the analytical brain. It's the mathematical brain. The right brain is the creative side, the artistic side. So those of us that in school were better in math and science, we were left-brained. Those of you that were better with English and history are more right-brained. But there's so much research going on now with the brain that we're studying exactly how that really works. But one thing we do know is the left hemisphere of the brain controls the right side of the body, and the right hemisphere of the brain controls the left side of the body. So injuries, traumas to the brain can certainly be affected based on where the trauma is showing up in different areas of the body. Okay? Nobel Prize recipient Roger Sperry stated the spine is the motor that drives the brain, according to his research. 90% of the stimulation and nutrition to the brain is generated by the movement of the spine. Goes on to state that 10% of our brain's energy goes to thinking, metabolism, immunity, and healing, because 90% goes into the processing and maintaining the body's relationship with gravity, what we commonly call balance. So it's all about balance. When we have vertigo, dizziness, tinnitus, those are conditions that affect the brain, the inner ear. So the spine is controlling the brain. So we talk about all day about movement. Motion affects emotion. Your motion of your body, of your spine, affects your emotional state. And Roger Sperry, who is a psychoimmunologist, discussed that. Align the brain and align the body. Your brain is the control system of the body. Brain balance and harmony is essential to overall well-being and optimal cognitive, emotional, and physical performance. Once the brain is balanced, the body always follows. Mind-body connection. This condition of harmony is known as homeostasis. It's about balance. Once you achieve this balance, you will enjoy new states of self-regulation. What is self-regulation? It's where your heart beats on its own. Your digestive system produces enzymes. Your blood pressure maintains. Your body temperature is at 98.6. That's what's called self-regulation, all by a normal functioning nervous system. It allows you to think more clearly, perform more successfully, and experience a higher degree of hope and happiness. So again, not only is the brain about the analytical and the creative, but it's about a mindset of being happy and being fulfilled in life. Neurological disorders. 1 in 5 people in the U.S. suffer from neurological disorders, which which are diseases of the brain, spine, and the nerves connecting them. Chronic stress has propelled us into the early stages of the worst epidemic of all time. We're in the early stages of this neurologic epidemic. It's a serious one. And in the most dangerous epidemic. Ever-growing lists of people are now suffering from Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, autism, insomnia, lupus, multiple sclerosis, acid reflux, irritable bowel syndrome, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, anxiety, migraines, depression, and the list goes on and on. So there's so many conditions based on the nervous system. But it's really what's creating the nervous system to not function to its optimal level. So we can understand it's the nervous system, but I think we have to take a few steps back, dig a little bit deeper to find out what's really causing all of this. No easy answers. So dementia is a mental disorder, the main category of mental disorders. And the experts say if you have two of these criteria that are in the extreme state, memory, so if memory loss is an extreme condition, you have problems communicating and with language, or you have an ability to focus and pay attention, reasoning and judgment, or visual perception. If you have two of those five, you might be suffering from dementia. Dementia is the umbrella of mental disorder. Under that umbrella, the main condition is Alzheimer's. Probably 80–85% of dementia cases are Alzheimer's patients. Over 5 million Americans live with Alzheimer's, and 1 in 10 people over the age of 65 has Alzheimer's. Early onset affects approximately 200,000 Americans under the age of 65. I'm sure most of us know somebody, at least one person, that suffered with it. I know I did with my mother for 7 years. I had no idea who I was. It's a terrible disease. And when you go to these facilities where many Alzheimer's patients are, it's pretty much a war zone. It's a very sad state. So the goal is to try to prevent it. Strokes. 800,000 new or recurring strokes happen annually. Up to 80% of strokes can be prevented. We'll talk about that. Stroke is the 5th leading cause of death in the U.S., and stroke is the leading cause of adult disability in the U.S. So stroke is an attack on the brain. It's where the blood vessels are attacked, and it can create so many severe problems and obviously affect quality of life. So let's talk about prevention. So I always talk about my 5 keys to health, whether it's brain health, whether it's heart health, whether it's physical structural health. The 5 keys are what? Exercise on a regular basis, good nutrition, mindset, good posture, and getting enough sleep. And let's delve into that. So simple. Walk with a friend, taking a dance class, joining an exercise group, going golfing, taking a tennis lesson, join a community pool, walk your dog, go for a bike ride, garden, whatever it might be. Move. As Roger Sperry said, motion in the spine affects and impacts your brain. That's the key to affecting your function of your brain, is movement of that spine. For Alzheimer's, dementia, hitting the books, using your brain, reading more, crossword puzzles, Sudoku, anything to really use your brain to analyze, to read, to really help all those cells, those neurons continue to work, to not get lazy. Doesn't have to be a book, could be a magazine, could be a newspaper, but really reading vigorously, just like exercising the muscles, exercising the brain. The obvious, smoking. 2 major health risks and health hazards in society today are smoking and being overweight. So if you don't smoke and you're not overweight, you've got a pretty good chance for heart health, for brain health, for overall health. Heart smart. Brain and heart health go hand in hand. And by taking care of your heart, your brain is more likely to follow. And your heart is related to what? Blood pressure, cholesterol levels. What's that related to? Is it related to the drugs that you take, or is it related to the lifestyle that you live? So really start taking care of your body. That's the purpose of these webinars, and what I do every day is to try to help motivate people. We all know what we need to do. The expression knowledge is power, I don't agree with. Knowledge plus action is power. So we need to take more action. And that's what this is meant to remind us. We need to do some of these 5 simple keys to enhance our brain health. And we'll get into more specifics. So not getting enough sleep due to conditions like insomnia or sleep apnea may result in problems with memory and thinking. So research has shown that. So under 7 hours or more than 9 hours can basically create problems. Mental health and stress. Also, studies report an association between depression and impaired increased risk of cognitive decline. Managing stress can help reduce symptoms of depression, anxiety, and other mental health concerns. So let's define stress. Stress is your body's way of responding to any kind of demand. It can be caused by both good and bad experiences. So what's good stress? Good stress, getting married, having a child, moving into a new home, getting a new job. It's good stress. Bad stress, losing your job, having marital issues, relationship issues, financial issues. But you know what? Physiologically, the way the body works, whether it's good stress or bad stress, it still attacks us the same way. Stress is a physical, chemical, or emotional factor that causes bodily or mental tension and is a major factor in disease causation. So it's physical, chemical, or emotional. We're going to get into those right now as to what they are. So here we break down what kind of stress do you have. So under the category of physical stresses, overweight. 70% of Americans are overweight or obese. Not exercising, poor posture, incorrect exercising. So there's 3 categories of exercise. There's stretching, there's strengthening, and there's cardiovascular exercise. Which one are you doing? Which one are you not doing? You have to have a balance of all 3, especially flexibility. Flexible body, flexible mind creates health and wellness. Not getting enough sleep, not improper lifting, poor ergonomics, text neck, people sitting at their computers, being on their phones. These are all wreak havoc on your mental state, your brain state, your heart health, your physical health. Accidents, traumas, falls, things like that. Then there's the emotional stresses of relationships, finances, work, school, time constraints, the worries, the fear, the anger, the guilt. All of that creates constriction of blood flow. And that's what affects the brain. It's what affects your heart. It's what affects your muscles. It's what affects your spine. And then nutritional. What's your diet like? Are you eating processed foods, sugars, sodas, caffeine, alcohol, nicotine? How much are we exposed to all of these stresses? And what's it doing? See, the brain, we don't really feel it. We don't really know. You know, just like we really shouldn't feel our heart beating. You don't feel it. That's good. We shouldn't feel our head. So people with headaches, you're feeling certain symptoms that are due to many times these types of stresses as compared to what drug do I need to get rid of my headaches versus facing the reality. And a lot of people don't want to hear that. I get it. But it's really a matter of understanding you've got to change these factors. So I urge you to take 1 or 2 categories and 1 or 2 of these in each category. So let's say you're overweight. What are you going to do to help your overweight issue? Not exercising, improper, not enough sleep. You've got to make certain changes. Emotionally, spiritually, what can you help? What can you impact in your life? And the same thing, nutritional. So I urge you to take a look and see alcohol. Maybe I'm drinking too much. Maybe I'll slow down. Processed foods, I'll eat more foods, the colors of the rainbow. The reds, the oranges, we'll talk about that. Long-term stress has been linked to a myriad of conditions: anxiety, depression, digestive problems, memory loss, insomnia, hypertension, heart disease, strokes, cancer, ulcers, rheumatoid arthritis, colds, flu, accelerated aging, allergies, chronic fatigue, infertility, impotence, asthma, hormonal issues, skin conditions, hair loss, muscle spasms, and diabetes, to name just a few conditions. It's what stress does to us. Every one of us suffer from constant, chronic, low levels of stress, physically, chemically, and emotionally. What you may not know is how it impacts your life and health and what you can do about it. So, the quality of your life is controlled by the questions you ask. So, where in your body do you hold or carry your stress? Carry it in your head, headaches, shoulders, neck, stomach, heart? Well, we've got to look at that. What tools have you used to try to alleviate your stress? And a good question, is stress an external challenge to what's out there, or is it a response to an... That's not right. There's an internal response to an external challenge. Why do you think your body failed to heal itself at this time? Your body's amazing. It has an amazing ability to heal. Do you know that science has referred to the spine as the motor that drives the brain? On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your daily level of stress? Physical, chemical, emotional. Where are you on that scale? Obviously, think about that. Am I 5? Am I 6, 7, and 8, and 9, and 10? Well, the higher that number is, it's an arbitrary number, but certainly important to gauge. The National Institute of Health states up to 90% of all illness is related to stress. This is dramatically different and far worse than just a few years ago. We live in a high-paced, fast-paced, high-tech, high-stress world, and no organism in nature is designed to withstand the effects of long-term stress. Eventually, cancer rates are so high because we're living longer, so things like show up, brain health issues, we're living longer, starting to show up. You want to live, you're going to live longer, you might as well try to figure out how to live a healthier life. It is important to realize that no one is immune. That includes you and me. Brain foods. I always talk about the colors of the rainbow. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Eat foods that are red. Not eat foods that are white, white breads and white pastas. Not eat foods that are black, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. You can pick out all kinds of foods in those categories. Shop on the perimeter of the supermarket. Buy those foods. Supplements. Number of supplements are associated with improving cognitive function. Consuming a healthy diet is the best way to achieve optimal nutrition, but sometimes it can be difficult getting all the nutrients we need in one day. And I always say, what's a vitamin called? It's called a supplement. Same thing. It's meant to supplement your diet. The key is to have a really healthy diet. Okay, so fish is an important part of our diet. And these are the following supplements. Fish oils, to me, number one. This is a supplement that I use. Take every single day. Resveratrol, powerful antioxidant that helps prevent deterioration. Ginkgo biloba is a good boost for brain power. Increased rhodiola rosea, powerful supplement used in Chinese medicine to promote well-being and healthy brain function. And phosphatidylserine is a fat compound. So we have fats. The brain is made up of 60% fat, 75% water. So drinking lots of water is so important. So we do this brain span. It's a scan it's a take-home kit for you that if you're interested, that measures basically your omega-3s, deficiencies of omega-3s. And it's a kit that takes your blood as well as a cognitive test that you do online on your computer. And we get back results, and it really gives a very good assessment. And then we follow up with that in 90 days to see exactly where you stand. Okay? If you're interested in that, let us know. Up here you can see at the top there are lots of research, which I'm going to show you now. Here's some of the articles that discuss in Journal of American Medical Association, Neurology, in the International Society of Sports Nutrition, all these major medical journals. Do you know how you may be able to reduce your risk of developing Alzheimer's disease by as much as 47%? I suggest you read some of these. Do you know you may be able to significantly increase your brain's resilience to concussion injury? Do you know you may be able to significantly improve your child's attention, so all the ADD and ADHD issues? You know how you may be able to reduce your effects of stress and cellular aging. Low omega-3 index scores associated with accelerated brain aging. Low omega-3. So you want to get those omega-3 numbers higher. That's what this test checks for, to see what those numbers are, and lower cognitive abilities. Individuals with high blood cell, so part of omega-3s are DHA and EPA. Those are important ingredients. And individuals with high blood DHA had a 47% lower risk of developing dementia than those with low DHA, and so on. Studies suggest individuals with the higher have 65% slower aging. All different articles, quite important. So I want to thank you for listening. Brain health, heart health, overall health, wellness is vital in our society. We're in a society of taking drugs to mask and suppress everything. The goal is to really be accountable, a responsibility, the ability to respond, and I hope that this helps you. Like I said, if you have any questions, we're here to answer those. Thank you very much, and have a great day. I'll see you soon.